Because for some odd reason, whenever it comes to release dates of games, they can never give us just a direct date and stick with it. It's like, bruh, just set a freaking date, stick to it, get to work, and get it done, all right? Yo, what up, squad? All right, so I think, man, it is no secret that in 2024, gaming, or particularly PlayStation in itself, really didn't have the best year. And I feel like a lot of that had to do with the fact of a bunch of different factors, right? You had AAA title, single player, new IP releases. Like, where were those at? $700 PS5 Pro console. I know you guys can go ahead and argue about that down in the comments, because I know there was a whole lot of mixed feelings and mixed emotions around this console right here. Then when you talk about gaming, right? Like, there's a lot of re-releases or remastered titles that kind of really makes you feel like you're playing the same games that we had back in 2023. And I feel like a bunch of other stuff that we're gonna talk about in this video here. But this video particularly, man, I wanna just kind of talk about the state of PlayStation from my perspective when it comes to PlayStation in 2024, going into this year of 2025 that we're in, and what I would like to see from them when it comes to their console and just PlayStation as a whole. So let's discuss. Now, first off, y'all, I want to kind of start this video off talking about, in my opinion, some of the positive things that I did like that PlayStation did in 2024 that I believe is going to be huge for them in this year of 2025. Now, the first thing I got to talk about, y'all already know I had to bring this up, man, and I got to talk about it, y'all, and that is the continued support of the PlayStation Portal, man. Now, you guys know I got my PlayStation Portal right here. Always got it like decked out in something special. Now, the PlayStation Portal here came out in November 15th of 2023, which now it's been out for over a year and some change now. And the fact that they did not give up on the Portal here, to me, was a huge win for us PlayStation fans in general. Because since the release of this, it's been speculated that there's been over 650,000 people who's purchased and sold out the PlayStation Portal numerous amounts of times. And this right here was a testimony to PlayStation, despite all of the haters that was out there that was trashing this product right here before they even had it in their hands. And with that, man, in 2024, they also gave us two of the best features and updates that we could have ever gotten with this PlayStation Portal. The first one being, now we're able to connect to public Wi-Fi connections that may need to be authenticated, whereas before we couldn't do that in regards to hotels or coffee shops and different places like that. Then the second one, which to me was probably the biggest one this year when it came to the Portal, and that is, it is now a standalone machine that now has access to be able to play your PS Plus cloud gaming library. So the PlayStation Portal in itself, when it comes to updates in 2024, in my opinion, was legendary, all right? Now, fast forward that to 2025 and kind of what this means for PlayStation Portal going forward and just kind of the state of PlayStation, right? Now, I personally don't think this is where they are going to actually stop when it comes to the PlayStation Portal. According to an article that I read the other day, it mentioned that Hiromi Wakai, who is the VP of product management, said in a recent interview, said that the cloud gaming support is really only the beginning and is going to be improving here within the year of 2025, as it is currently still in its beta stage and currently only works with 120 titles that are in the PS Plus premium catalog. But he also mentioned that this is just a fraction of the full PS5 library of games. So maybe in the future, in 2025, I feel like they have something in the works of creating something that will allow Portal users to be able to access the full, complete PlayStation gaming catalog to be played on their handheld in a standalone fashion, which to me would just be dope as hell, right? So PlayStation, please make that happen. Imagine, y'all, being able to play every single PlayStation release game on the Portal, and I'm talking like PS1 games all the way up to the PS5 days. Like, come on, man. It would just be goated, all right? Now, this is what I would potentially like to see happen in the future when it comes to the PlayStation Portal with this device. Now, before we actually get into the thing that I feel like PlayStation kind of struggled with, let me go ahead and just kind of tell you guys about the sponsor for this portion of the video. Oh, okay. This right here, man, is the Vantru E360, which is the most innovative, groundbreaking, and most versatile dash cam that I've used. Now, this dash cam offers here a revolutionary 5.2K in video quality as a 360-degree panoramic dash cam view. It also offers the same 5.2K 360-degree panoramic tachograph with a handheld stand that I'm going to show you guys a little bit more about that here in a second, because this is really where the versatility really comes into play, all right? It also can achieve 360-degree panoramic recording using a unique 210-degree plus 210-degree viewing angle. Basically, y'all, it can see every single thing that you guys wanted to capture in aspects of the road for unparalleled visibility. Now, it also has excellent image quality with its high dynamic range that helps with reducing noise and motion blur, ensuring the footage in itself that is being captured is clear in all lighting conditions, whether it's either daytime or even if it's nighttime. Speaking of nighttime, right, it includes Night Vision 2.0, which the E360 here uses its 8 infrared LED lights, which can record videos here with reduced noise as well as motion blur in crazy low light environments, thanks to its ultra high sensitivity sensor, giving it a clear image even in complete darkness. Now, it also comes with this handle that you guys can see right here that allows you guys to easily be able to take your dash cam right from your car and attach it to this handle right here, turning it into essentially a whole freaking vlogging camera, man, that you guys can see that I'm using right here on the CES showroom floor. Now, some of the other filming modes that you guys can get is the 360-degree panoramic view in 30 FPS mode, or you guys can do the dual fisheye 30 FPS mode. Then there's one of my favorites, man, which is the fisheye plus fisheye 30 FPS. Last but not least, man, you have the handheld 9x16 portrait mode, which is going to be perfect for those people out there that want to be able to share that footage to either Instagram or TikTok with just one click. Now, if you guys would like to learn more about the Vantrue E360 dash cam, check out the link I'll have for you guys down below if you guys want to pick up one for yourself. Thanks again to Vantrue for sponsoring this portion of the video. Now, one thing I feel like PlayStation struggled with this year was, honestly, in my opinion, was the lack of games. It was listen, y'all, man, it was a rough year for games this year, if I'm being honest. And I think y'all probably feel the same way. I would say the main games that was released this year was probably Astrobot, Dragon Ball Z, Sparkling Zero. You also had Black Myth Wukong, Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, Rise of the Ronin, Helldivers 2, games like Madden, 2K, Call of Duty. I didn't really want to throw those in there, but I guess you can count those as well. But I'm mainly talking about single player titles. It wasn't really a lot of those games for us to be able to play. Now, although, don't get me wrong, those were some of the dopest games that we can play. I still feel like they were good. But the main issue that I have with PlayStation this year was instead of creating games that were made for the PS5 Pro, they pretty much just decided to do a lot of remastering of a lot of these older games that most of us have already played, instead of just giving us some new IPs, something new to be able to play to fully take full advantage of the next gen gaming console in its full glory. But I guess to me, my frustration with this is this really a PlayStation problem, or is this more of a gaming studio problem? This is the question that I need answered, because not having a lot of games to be able to play on our PS5 consoles for an entire year is kind of a huge letdown in my opinion. And just being stuck playing the same games that we've already played before over and over and over, but they just get remastered to look a little better and perform a little better. I don't know. It just kind of gets stale, like playing those same games and then we're waiting for the next big title to be released that we can somewhat hang our hat onto, right? Now, I don't know about y'all, man, but I legit felt like there really wasn't a strong presence of gaming this year and more of a hardware push in 2024 with minimal games being available. Now, honestly, y'all, I still feel like Black Myth Wukong and Astrobot in itself saved PlayStation this year as far as gaming goes. Now, although Black Myth Wukong wasn't an exclusive title or anything, but it still was an enjoyable game on the console. But again, man, I don't want this to just be me talking. Like, I want you guys to express your feelings as well. Like, how are you guys feeling about the re-releases and all of that when it comes to gaming? So let me know that down in the comment section below. Now, let's go ahead and fast forward to 2025. Now, do I feel like there are a decent amount of games that are being speculated to be released that are some pretty major titles? Yeah, I would say so. Now, some of these titles would be like Assassin's Creed Shadows, which I'm gonna be honest, I'm still a little optimistic on this one here, because that game was honestly supposed to come out last year and it still didn't make its deadline in, and now they have it to where it's supposed to come out in February, but yet they had some layoffs and the deadlines has been pushed. Like, listen, it's one of those games that I'm gonna believe it when I see it, all right? Then there's Wolverine, right? Which I'm still not holding my breath for about that. So even with all of those dope games, right, like Mafia or GTA 6 and others, it's kind of like one of those things where I believe it when I see it. Because for some odd reason, whenever it comes to like release dates of games, they can never give us just a direct date and stick with it. Like, it's always got to be them saying something like released in Q2 and a half or something crazy like that. It's like, bruh, just set a freaking date, stick to it, get to work, and get it done, all right? But leaving things up in the air for just us to allow certain level of distrust to kind of set in is just not a good look for PlayStation, in my personal opinion, and just the entire gaming space as a whole. But listen, man, I'm going to try to stay hopeful in this thing, man, that we're going to get some of these games here that's going to be out of the box, graphically made for the PS5 Pro, which is a whole nother thing, and just not remastered for the PS5 Pro, if that makes sense. I want the graphical sauce out the gate, not in a 2-year-old game that has to be remastered and updated, because let's be honest, those games was not originally made for this console. So it's really not seeing the full potential of what it can get. Like, to me, man, give me new titles with the sauce in it, all right? And before I continue here into this PS5 Pro drama that we're gonna get into here, man, let me go ahead and tell you guys about the sponsor of this portion of the video. Now, before we get into kind of like that last thing that I want to talk about, I do got to talk about the state of PlayStation in regards to the headphone space. Now, in 2024, PlayStation released the PlayStation Pulse Elite gaming headphones for I think these run for like $160. In my opinion, in 2024, this right here was probably one of the best moves that PlayStation made, because I feel like you can get finally some of PlayStation's best features, which is their audio department, all from a solid pair of headphones that matches the console in itself and just kind of keep you within that ecosystem. Because in regards to these headphones right here, y'all, I love the PlayStation Pulse Elites. I think these are solid for the price of what you're paying for. Also, the microphone that's on here is also solid as well, man. I think these things, when it comes to comfort, they feel good as well. But again, in 2024, where I kind of feel like they felt short with these is the fact of when they did release a new console, they did not put that PlayStation Link technology into the console here to whereas we can actually use it. Now, I'm gonna be honest with y'all, I'm not too mad about that, because I'll be honest, I'm not a huge fan of the PlayStation Link technology. I do feel like that is one of the things that is somewhat lacking when it comes to this console here. Now, hopefully they will get better with that in the future, but as of right now, PlayStation Link is definitely not my favorite. But I will say, these headphones here sound great, man. Now, fast forward to 2025, what does this mean? In my opinion, I feel like Sony is just over time going to continue getting better and better and better when it comes to their pair of gaming headphones. Now, the reason why I say this is because I've been working with a brand, man, called Audeze, right? Let me go ahead and grab those headphones for you real quick. All right, y'all. So I've been working with this brand here called Audeze, y'all. Now, this right here is by far probably my favorite pair of gaming headphones that I'm rocking right now, y'all. Like, these here are the freaking GOAT, all right? The reason why I'm bringing up the Audezes is because I know you guys will be like, well, CKid, these are two different headphones, two different companies, but I found out in 2024 that actually Sony purchased Audeze and they actually own Audeze. Now, these here are a premier premium sound pair of gaming headphones. Like, these here cost $300. Like, they're not a cheap pair of headphones by any means. But I say all of that to say this. If they own a premium company like Audeze, guess what? They can actually include a lot of those same drivers now to be placed inside of their, I guess, lesser model of gaming headphones, giving you guys a premium quality sound without having to pay the premium price. Now, again, I still recommend these, as these are, again, these are the GOAT. These are the Lamborghinis, all right? I'm just letting y'all know. But what I'm saying is, in 2025, the sky's the limit, man, for what they can do when it comes to audio, because we all know PlayStation 3D surround sound audio, man, is one of the best things on this console right here that I feel like no other console can actually compete with that PlayStation is doing. And so when it comes to their headphones in 2025, I'm excited for that. And last but not least, man, y'all know we got to talk about it, man, and that is this PS5 Pro right here. This was probably single-handedly the biggest news talked about in gaming when it came to PlayStation this year. This was 100% all about that $700 price tag. Some people said it was too expensive, and then you had some people on the fence saying that, I don't know, I can kind of justify it. I'm not here to say, you know, which side was right or wrong, because I do feel like both sides have compelling arguments. But what I will say is, in 2024, it was good to actually see new hardware come to the gaming space in general. I don't know about y'all, man, but regardless of anything when it comes to pricing or hardware, it is always good to see new hardware being released out into the world. Now, I do understand that price tag, I'm not gonna lie, and people's concerns about it due to the economic times we are living in. It kind of made people feel like PlayStation wasn't really cognizant of their fan base and how the world is in general right now. As y'all know, man, every freaking thing right now is crazy expensive when it comes to gas, when it comes to groceries, when it comes to just walking down the street. It's expensive, y'all. Then they come out with a console that costs $700 that didn't include the stand that I got on mine here. It also didn't include the disc drive, and it didn't include the DualSense Edge controller. And I can't front, man. It was kind of wild, all right? Especially when all of the games for it were really only remasters that I just talked to you guys about, which I can't front. I hated it, all right? Now, I like the games, but I hated that there was no new titles that came out with this console. Now, after having it for a little while, don't get me wrong, I do feel like this is a great console. You will notice the differences, but after playing it for a little while with no new games, it just feels like I got the same console that I had before, just a little beefed up. And it's not because of the hardware or anything like that is bad, but it's solely because there are no new games that came out along with it. I will say this, and I will always stand by this statement. Games drive console sales and build fan bases of their consoles in the console war space. But hardware does not bring people to the games. Games always will be king in the console wars. And for me, man, I just kind of felt like the PS5 Pro, they kind of missed the mark when it came to marketing as well as selling factors of it due to a lot of the key accessories that I just mentioned to you guys that were missing from it along with that price tag. But let's go ahead and just kind of skip past that, and we're going to fast forward to 2025 here and what I kind of feel like the PS5 Pro has done for PlayStation. Honestly, y'all, it set a new bar. Whether people love it or whether you hate it, it set a new bar for gaming on the PlayStation level and the quality that we're now going to be getting out of these consoles without having to choose whether we're going to do fidelity mode or whether we're going to do performance mode. And the other standard that it might have set that y'all might not like, and I gotta be honest, y'all, and that is pricing. PlayStation saw that people have still went out, and including myself, they purchased the PS5 Pro at that $700 price tag. And I say that to say this, right? Don't expect that new PS6, which is not gonna be coming out in 2025, anything like that, but don't expect it to be a $500 price tag, all right? I would say that console there will probably be closer to the $600 to $650 price range. So I just, you know what I'm saying? I'm just throwing that out there because this console here literally set it up. So get your wallets ready for that, all right? But overall, man, I just wanted to kind of do this video here and just talk about the state of PlayStation and where I can kind of see them going in 2025 or where I would like to see them going in 2025 and just overall have a just much better year than I feel like they did in 2024. But again, how are you guys feeling about the state of PlayStation in 2025 versus 2024? Let me know down below, man. Do you guys think it would be better or do you guys think it would be worse? I'm personally going to go on the side of I think things will get better, but again, only time is gonna tell. Again, man, thanks to all of the sponsors in today's video. See you guys in the next one. Happy gaming, squad. We out.